Hey man, welcome to the show.
Thank you for
It is
having
an honor
me.
to have you.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that.
Right, so could you introduce yourself, please?
Sure. So my name is Shraddha. I am actually a social media manager. I'm based in Toronto, but I work with people all around, and I like helping mainly product-based businesses. And I'm very much into doing everything organically, and doing it in like an authentic way. So, you can connect with your audience and grow on social media.
Right, so during the last 2 decades, social media's growth has been really influential for traditional marketing.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so how
Yeah.
important has been the requirement of social media marketers in today's time?
I would say it's pretty important because let's say you have a business, right? And you want
Right,
to grow. So either you can do it yourself, you can spend your time, energy, money, resources, whatever, do it yourself. Or what you can do is hire someone who's like an expert like me that can help you reach there faster. Because we have the experience and we know what works. So having someone to help you get your business to where you want to go is the right way to do. And social media is important because like it's good that even if you have like a brick and mortar business or some
right.
other presence, but social media will help you reach to people that don't know about your business or yeah,
How can a brick and mortar business interact with the audience on social media?
There's actually so many ways. I mean, it depends on what you want to do with your social media. Like there's whenever you're on social media, when you start an account, it depends on what your goal is, right? Maybe you want more inquiries to come in, or maybe you
Hmm.
just want your brand name out there. So for that purpose, it's going that's going to define how you're going to show up on there, how you're going to interact with your audience. Maybe you can use it to showcase your products, or maybe you can use it to showcase about yourself as a business owner, what your values are. These little things, these matter a lot, and it all like goes into like how your audience is going to connect and then maybe buy from you.
Right.
Mhm.
So even I have a business account and I'm like facing this dilemma. Like, should I be more personal towards the audience or should I keep it professional? Like, where do you draw the line?
um It would, I can say for you, but it would depend on you as a business owner. Do you want your audience like involved? If you want more of like a personal brand, because I would say what I have seen is people do like it when they know who are they buying from.
Right.
It's not just for service-based entrepreneurs, it's for product-based people as
Hmm.
well. Like if they know who Akash is, what is his values, why did he start this business, what difference does he want to make. Maybe that's something, people connect to and they form like a community. And the community building aspect is like one of the very, I would say, the best benefits you have of having a social media. So
Right.
I would say, if you had to ask me and if I had to purchase from you, I would want to see some of your personal life as well. So, I just know like who am I buying from and yeah.
Right. So
Mhm.
as a company, like how can one decide what is the best platform for promotion?
I would say your best platform is where your audience is. So
Okay.
whenever you start your business, you have to do some market research and you have to know who you're selling to. So, let's say you want to sell to Gen Zs or millennials, that kind of product you have,
Right.
you got to determine where your audience is hanging out. because just because everybody's on Instagram or everybody's on like TikTok, you can't
Hmm.
just jump on. You have to see where they are, because you'll be creating content for them. So if you're not even targeting them because they're not there, then it's no use, right? Maybe
Right.
your audience is more on Facebook, so that's where
Hmm.
you should be focusing on.
Right. And does a social
Mhm.
media manager determine that?
Uh, it's all a part of your market research.
Hmm.
That's the beginning stages of your business. Whenever you have an idea, okay, I want to
Right.
sell, I don't know, let's say you want to sell athleisure products, or you want to sell like mom clothes, stuff like that. That's a
Hmm.
part of your research. I would say you should get onto these platforms, but you have to start by focusing on one platform, and then you can, always grow from there slowly. If you go all in, you're trying to put your feet everywhere, I don't think that's gonna work.
Right. Like,
Yeah.
are there any strategies that you devise to create brand awareness?
Mm, yeah. Uh, could you be more specific, like how?
Like, people can associate that feeling of pleasure or goodness in relation to a certain product with your product. Like, if they
Mhm.
feel they want biscuits, so how can you make them feel that they should buy your biscuits?
Your biscuits. Okay. Um, I would say it depends on the platform you're on. For example, I'll take Instagram because that's my forte, right? So, in terms of like, if that's your goal, you want just brand awareness, you're not right now focusing on sales because maybe, let's say, you're new to the platform,
Right.
right? So, all the time, in my opinion, you should be focusing on what value you're giving. Maybe it's through your content, if it's like a more authentic kind of content. And there's always other things. You can analyze the performance of your marketing strategy. Let's
Right.
say you have this like 3 month period that you say, okay, I want to show up like this and I want to create content like this. So in like taking the content, you're gonna be defining what type of language am I using, what's my brand tone, even your personal brand matters. Like, how do you come across to me as a consumer,
Hmm.
right? And what's your tone? Do you use more humor, or are you more of like an entity, more professional vibes? Maybe that's something I connect to. What kind of call to action you use? Because whenever you're putting out content, you have to use certain call to actions where you prompt your audience to take an action. Like maybe you want them to visit your website, so you'll actually tell them to visit your website. That's something that increases your engagement or increases your brand awareness. Maybe you can just straight up ask them to share your content. Then they'll share it to someone they like. They want them to see your content, and then that also increases your brand awareness. So it's like stuff like this that like make a lot of difference.
How often should one post their content? Where do you draw the line?
Mm, that's I would okay. I know I've seen like so many people that are like, post every day, 3 times a day, whatnot. But I personally am not that kind of person. I don't even advise people to do that, because if you can, why not do it? But I wouldn't go ahead and say, okay, like you have to do this. This is a hard and fast rule, blah, blah, blah. Because I feel like it's just gonna, if it's not you, if it's not in your nature, it's just gonna lead you to burnout. And then you'll just like stop because
Right.
maybe you don't have content, and maybe you just don't want have it in you to like, post something. So my advice is always to start slow, and then if you can pick up, why not? Like, you can always increase your consistency. So
Right.
even if you can start with like 3 posts in a week, just stick to the days and stick to the time you're posting, and then just go with it. And then slowly, maybe after a month or 2 months, you say, okay, I think I can do more. I can include like Saturdays in there. So like, why not? Just increase it slowly. Yeah, that's what my take would be on the topic.
Have you heard of the mere exposure effect?
No, I haven't.
So basically, it is a phenomena which states that if the feeling towards your brand or product is neutral, the more you show it, for example, Pepsi, the more you display it, show it on different billboards, platforms, the more
Mhm.
association towards it is created. So,
Okay.
in accordance with that, don't you think aggressive marketing could work in your favor?
If you're referring to, okay, I have heard of the fact that you have to put out the message at least 7 times. Like your audience need to come in contact with that, so they remember your brand or what you're selling, stuff like that.
Right.
That I believe in, definitely. I'm talking about the consistency of posting, because yeah, I mean, I feel like you're referring to those big brands. They already have a brand name out there.
Right.
While I'm talking about someone who's kind of like a newbie, just starting out. They don't know what the big, huge like words of Instagram are. Like what's engagement, what's your, I don't know, KPIs, CTAs, whatever. So they're
Hmm.
just trying to like, dip their toes in and just trying to get into the flow. So for someone like that, I would just say like don't, because if you just go with like all of those hard and fast rules and then you're like, okay, you have to do this, you have to do that, it's just, I feel like it's overwhelming and I wouldn't personally want to put someone through that.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay, so if we talk in terms of new brands which are not aware of these metrics, like
Mhm.
they are very similar, like impressions, views. So how
Mhm.
do they determine that which is the best metric that they have to analyze for determining the performance?
So you can go in so many ways in there. If you just know the basics, you would know that Instagram has built-in analytics. So whenever
Hmm.
you put out your content, right, you can see from your account how your new type of content is performing. So there's like so many different things. You can check your follower growth. You can check your shares, your saves, how the engagement is doing.
Right.
So yeah, I feel like it would depend on what you want to get out of it, right? Like if you want, I feel like I kind of answered this question before with the brand awareness part. So if you're wanting your goal to be brand awareness, then you would see, okay, like what shares am I getting? What saves am I getting? If I'm, then you can analyze like, what kind of content did I write under that post? If my images were different, if I did something new with it.
Hmm.
And if it's not, you can always like switch it up, add something new slowly, and then see like if that did something, um, yeah, better than the ones you were doing before.
You have a really good point that there is no hard and fast rule, because if you take Instagram for example, the
Mhm.
algorithm changes so frequently that you cannot easily adapt to it. How much do you have
Yeah.
to experiment?
Yeah, yeah, that's true. They keep rolling out so many new features and so many new updates. So you have to. That comes to your first question: if you need a
Hmm.
social media manager or not. So someone like we would be updated to all of those updates and would help you with that. So yeah,
Right.
Instagram is kind of like changing a lot. You have to keep updated with that, but my advice is always to be like authentic and find your voice, because
Hmm.
I've personally been there where I have tried to grow my page with all of those like rules. And okay, you have to post, you have to show up like this, you have to be like come across as like this kind of vibe. But
Hmm.
and then I had a burnout personally, and then I didn't want to post, and I picked up myself, read through things. So having been there personally, my advice is always like, find your own voice, and then yeah, experiment with it, have fun with it. And then, yeah, like whenever you see any trends, if you want to try it, why not? Just jump on the trend. If you don't want to try it, that's also okay. You have to just find your own rhythm to it.
Hmm. So,
Hmm.
suppose a hashtag is trending a lot. So, basically, you have a lot of competition.
Hmm.
So, when should a person make that trend jump? Like, should they follow along if they are a big brand, or should the little brands also do it?
Why not? If it's in your nature, like if you want to do it, if you don't mind it, why not jump on the trends? They're fun. The sounds, the trending sounds, or like the transitions, even the small brands can do it. Actually, the small brands are the one that are doing the most. The big brands, you'll like rarely see them do it. So
Right.
yeah, I mean, if you want to experiment with it, do it. It's
Hmm.
just like you don't want to feel, what is this? Like I don't like doing this. So, but you're still doing it anyway. So that's the thing.
Right. Don't
And
you?
if I had to answer about hashtags, um, yeah, even hashtags made a big fuss before, like, oh, you should use this number of
Yes.
hashtags, 30 number of hashtags. And then Instagram came in and talked to someone, some expert, and they said, okay, no, use 8 to 15 number of hashtags. And then after that trend died, okay, then people were like, okay, no, we're back to 30 hashtags. So
Hmm.
it's what I've experienced, it is sometimes a hit or miss. Like you could use the same hashtags, get really good results, and then the following week you could say use the same one, and then it's no good. Like the reach is lower or something. So before you do the hashtag, before you focus on the hashtag, focus on your content strategy, focus on your bio, your account optimization, like how you show up and how your even the keywords, your bio is, your CTA, what link in
Right.
bio is there, are you using highlights properly?
Hmm.
um, the visuals I wouldn't focus that much, but still they do make some sort of difference. So before like jumping on the hashtags, there's so many other things, those details that you have to go through. Then yeah, you can focus on hashtags, why not?
Right. But don't you think Instagram is a bit restrictive?
As in terms of,
Like when I used to post my videos there, I had to upload it from my laptop, and it can't be more than 1 hour, and I can't collaborate with anyone. And then I cannot edit the cover after that. So YouTube
Mhm.
lets me do all that. So
After you post it,
yeah,
I think you can change it. Like with the reels, I know you can change the cover after you post it, but I feel like you're trying to, like, capture the attention of the audience. So it's kind of like, okay, they're not gonna pay attention after a certain point of time.
hmm,
So if it's like 15 seconds, it's all based on research. Like if it's like 15 seconds or maybe even 7 seconds, they do well because they're short, sweet, and like maybe something's going on that's catching their attention. So yeah,
so there
but
must
if
be a hook, right?
what?
That 3 to 4 second hook to engage the audience.
Yeah, I think you might have seen this advice on Instagram. Start with something catchy.
Right.
Even with it goes with the captions as well. Even if like you're doing videos, like put something catchy on there, or a question that makes them want to stop and say, okay, that's me. And then you give like a little bit of advice, and then something you say, like read the caption, and then they read the caption, so they're on there longer,
Hmm.
right? So even like, yeah, these few, you could say, tricks, yeah, they do work. But if you're talking about like those 1 hour long videos, I would say if you have a community that's loyal to you, why wouldn't they want to watch, right? When you're there for some time, you're nurturing your community, they are really interested in what you have to offer, and they do watch your videos. Like
Right.
Personally, I watch if I'm interested in someone's like work, I do watch their videos. Or what you can do is like you could rather put on a live, like show up live and then ask
Right.
people to show up, and then that's kind of like interactive as well.
To
So
get
yeah.
engagements, interact with the audience, right?
Yeah, more of that in like building the community, because you're just like if you're
Right.
asking people to show up, they're asking you questions. You're kind of like showing your expertise, and you're showing what your brand is about, and even like how you show up. That also, if you're using humor, if that's in your
Hmm.
nature,
Right.
people do connect to that. People will want to comment rather than like it feeling forceful or something.
Could you talk about the incorporation of influencers in marketing?
Yeah. In my experience, I would say influencers do make a hell lot of difference, because you might have heard like it's about collaborations.
Right.
Now, even if you collaborate with other creators, like we're doing, we're
Right.
collaborating, right? So my brand will come across to your audience, and your brand will come across to my audience. So it's kind
Right.
of like the same if you look at it that perspective. Influencers are, it doesn't have to be someone that has like millions of followers. Even if like there's like nano influencers, micro influencers, even those who have some amount of community that looks up to them. So collaborating with them kind of puts your brand in front of their followers' eyes. So it definitely does make a difference. And I feel like it definitely should be a part of your strategy, especially if you have like a I don't know, a fashion brand or like a product based business.
Right. So, with the growth of so many influencers, how do you determine which might be the best one for your business?
Hmm. Uh, the main thing I could say is you could look at their content and the
Hmm.
products you have. So let's say you have like a, I don't know, like an ethnic brand, right? And there's an influencer that does these ethnic looks and ethnic styling. That's someone you want to go out and pitch to and maybe want to collaborate with, rather than someone else who has maybe more followers or like more engagement or stuff. And then you can also see how they're engaging with their audience, and if their audience is engaging with you, with them. So
Right.
these things also you can see right on the profile, and that's how you can determine like, okay, is this going to like be beneficial to me.
So, how do you put across your content that it goes to as many people, even if they're not your followers?
So I would say hashtags play a part in it. If you're using
Right.
hashtags that maybe you're someone you want to target, they use it, it would show up on their page. If you have a content that's similar to maybe what they're scrolling on, so that
Mm-hmm.
would show up on their feed and their explore page as well. What you can do is you can ask your audience to share it. Or
Right.
maybe you're doing collaborations, you have someone tagged in there. So even like these things, because they have their name in it, or maybe they have an interest, they want to show their content to someone, um, that would put your content out to someone else that's not even following you. So
Hmm.
based on that, those are the things you can use. I would say also following up with that, I want to touch point to how your account is optimized. Like
Right.
you can't just put your name, brand name on there, because your username is the same, your title name is the same. Because the title name I mean by, so your username is Akash Sharma, right?
Right.
And then in your in your title, you can put your name in, but you can also put in, you have to put in the keywords, because Instagram, it's not
Right.
just, before it used to be okay, hashtag this and then people find it. Now they can just like type in a keyword, and then the searches pop up, right? So if you put like those keywords, like whatever you are, like whatever your title, maybe you're a coach, maybe you're a some certain type of business, you put that in there, that makes you more searchable as well, right?
Right.
So that's how people find you. That's how they wanna follow you. And then when they come to your profile, is your bio optimized? Is your LinkedIn bio proper? Is that where you want to send people? Maybe you're promoting something, so that's what you put in your LinkedIn bio, right?
Right.
And even with the LinkedIn bio, do you have a call to action? Are you directing whoever's coming to your page? Are you telling them to click the link here or do something that you want, right? And then there's highlights, like these things, they make like an impression on whoever's wanting to follow you.
Right.
Mhm.
And how important is visual appeal, like cover for reel or thumbnail?
I'm not so like you might have guessed, like I'm not too much into like all of those rules, but I would say like they do make a difference. They make it more clickable if it's following like your brand identity. Let's say you
Right.
have some sort of colors you use, or graphics or some sort of style you have, that could be consistent with the real covers that you put up, right? Or maybe there's like some text that makes them want to click on there. So I would say it does make a little bit of difference, but I wouldn't just like be too fixated on that.
Okay. The
Mhm.
last question I like to ask you: what is the difference? Like, what should you incorporate? Organic marketing or paid marketing?
Um, I guess both of them should be a part of your strategy. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
big fan of doing it all organically. I do organic social media, so I know the benefits of it, because I do understand there's like so many small businesses out there. Maybe they don't have the budget or stuff like that. So I would say what's in your hand is like how you show up your products or how you show up your content. So start with organic, and then when you can allocate the budget, you can go with the ads and everything. I'm a big fan of organic marketing, so I'll just like root for organic.
Right. And
Yeah.
how can a potential client contact you?
So I'm really active on my Instagram page. I put out a lot
Yeah,
of
of course.
educational stuff. Yeah.
Right.
My username is at shraddha.channa. That's where you can contact me. I'm on LinkedIn and Facebook as well. The
Mm.
same name, Shraddha Channa. So yeah, but definitely reach out on Instagram. That's where like I'll be really fast.
Right.
Mhm.
It's very informative talking to you. I'll pause the video.
Oh, thank you. All right.